We're talking about consistency and motivation, all right? How that helps you in your fitness journey, what have you. So it is very, very, very important for you to have it in mind that most times as we start our fitness journey, it's not really easy to keep up with the motivation. The other day I spoke about people starting their workout and they are not really, let's say, within the same ginger they used this week is not the same ginger that they are able to keep up with, and before you know it, they relapse. So now, talking about motivation plays a major role in this physical activity. Almost everywhere now you get different kind of motivation. Some people even underestimate the power of motivation, but then you need to actually redefine motivation for yourself. All right, motivation is basically the act or necessity to do things. All right, the push you need. If you have to listen to it, if you need music for that, whatever you need to do to motivate you to keep going, you need to identify it so as to enable you keep up with it. So we're going to be talking about different, factors that can help us, utilize the motivation we have, and then also help us build the right discipline we need for consistency all through our physical activity. Remember, the idea is making it a lifestyle. So time to time, we're going to actually have distractions. So now let us look at one key factor that actually affects our motivation. Let's look at our environment. All right, environment plays a very key role. Most of the time, people go to environments to work out, carry out a physical activity that probably they've already built distraction around that environment. And you definitely know that probably because of the presence of this person in this location, you'll be unable to work out correctly. You're unable to carry out a physical activity correctly. You need to identify these distractions. You need to identify that this environment you're going to, probably you're having this glitch with the environment. Supercharge your environment. You can change your environment. You could change your timing. Whatever you need to do that helps you to be consistent. Another thing is you are an average of the 5 persons around you. 5 persons you keep around you. You're an average of 5 persons you keep around you. So you need to know these people you're keeping around you, your circle you're making, are they contributing towards your fitness goal, towards your physical activity, the goal, what you're looking out for? And you need to know that this cuts across almost every aspect of life. All right, be it in business, be it in family, be it in your social circle, whatever you want to do, you need to understand this. Once you understand this, you supercharge your environment. You know that probably these distractions you've been able to create out of these persons or the people you keep around you, this will limit you from actually carrying out your physical activity. You need to identify it and know when to, take a step backward, go back with your pen and paper, go back to your drawing board, and then, re-strategize. Remember, all these things are normal. These things are out of experience. All right? You don't really need to read them in the books. They're out of experience, so you need to understand this. Another thing I'm going to talk about is intensity. Now, by intensity, it can be by doing too much too soon. We spoke about this, was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yes. You need to identify your level of intensity. Workout is meant to be fun, all right? You really don't need to go too hard if your body is not that responsive to the level of intensity you are going. So at some point, you don't really need to follow any, high intensive training that has already been moderated for you. You can decide your own intensity. You feel like you can do 5 push-ups and that's what your body can take for now, and you're able to do that 5 push-ups about 4 sets, that's fine. You don't need to do about 10 or 15 and then you know that your body is not even willing to go, the mind is not there. This alone would affect your consistency.
Okay.
You understand? So when you identify all of this, it helps you a whole lot. Remember, the goal is to be consistent.
Yeah.
And there is a whole lot of things that would I use the term discipline, willpower. These are like magic, would I call it? They are illusions, but you need to get the drive to push for it. so that you can be consistent. You need some certain level of discipline. It is very, very intentional. You need some certain level of willpower. You wake up in the morning, you don't really feel like working out. And you know that the only time you have to train out of your 24 hours for today is just probably within the hours of 7 a.m. You need to develop that discipline, that willpower to make sure that you do it. You're not keeping it for another time. Go ahead.
Okay, so the question I want to ask right now is that, all of this feels very intertwined. So you said in terms of intensity, you feel like your body cannot do this today. You can decide to reduce it. At the same time, the person needs motivation to do one or two. And I just mentioned that the person wants to do an exercise. Maybe they have a routine for 7 a.m. They should still push themselves to do the routine for 7 a.m. But it's going to be okay that if they push themselves, they can reduce the intensity.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
It makes a whole lot of sense to you. That's it.
Right.
You know that you don't have that, let's say that vibe. Every day may not be the same. Every day is not the same. So you don't really have that push to go that intense today. But then you have the drive to work out. Keep it low.
Okay, I think you answered my question because I really wanted to ask, because you see, motivation and consistency, it kind of like sounds almost the same, but it's quite different.
Yeah.
You can be motivated and not consistent.
Yes.
You can be consistent and not motivated. So I originally wanted to ask if which one was important, motivation or consistency.
Yeah.
But since you spoke about
Yes,
the
yes.
intensity as well, I think that like pretty much rounds it up.
Consistency is very important because consistency brings out the difference. Consistency makes the difference. All right, you can be motivated and then you're not consistent. So let's say you're really motivated to work out, and for the week that motivation comes once to work out. You're not really consistent with your workout. You have to be consistent with your program design. You have to be consistent with your routines. You have to be consistent with your nutrition. You have to be consistent with your physical activity. Your turn up. It is very, very important. So as much as you don't really get that motivation, or even if you have the motivation to do, consistency is, the whole game changer there. And knowing all these little things will help you to be more consistent. All right. So another area I would.
Before you go ahead with that, I want to ask a question about motivation and consistency. I'm meant to do 10 push-ups, but my body is not giving me that energy and I'm deciding to do 4 push-ups. Does that mean tomorrow I can decide to do 16 push-ups if I feel up to it to make up for the 6 I didn't do the previous day?
Well, that's fine so far as it's part of your program design. Don't skip it. All right. Basically, you remember when we spoke about the other week.
Yeah.
Yes, we had a conversation on how we could manipulate the variables that would help us in attaining our fitness goal, which is the FIT principle, the FITT.
Yeah.
All right. So now, there you go. Manipulate your intensity levels. You don't need to keep up with that high intensity. You're motivated to train, but then the intensity is really high. Your body's you're not having that level of energy you need to carry out your routines. Reduce the intensity. Carry out those routines. It doesn't have to be intense. You could now decide to dictate the intensity for yourself. But you already know that, yes, you have lapses with your routines. It gives you that goal. It's up there. The willpower, you keep pushing. You keep doing it. And that's how you get consistent over time. So another thing I would want to add up is the aspect of, would I say, your nutrition. It is very, very important. Your nutrition too, it's psychological. All right, you are what you eat. If you're not giving the body the right nutrition it needs, it will also affect your consistency or your motivation going to the gym, because you probably need energy giving food before your workout, and then you're not having the right energy, the right nutrition, the right sports nutrition to carry out some certain level of intensity. If you're able to also keep up with your routines. So you need to also have this in mind that, like you said, it's intertwined, it's interwoven.
Yeah.
All this plays different roles.
Yeah.
All right. So this one is I'll be talking about action. All right, the power of action. You see, it is very easy for us to live under would I say paralysis of analysis by let me put this in context. We plan again.
Yeah.
We think, we plan some more. So as much as it is very important for us to plan, to process our plans, and then at the end of the day, if we don't act on it,
Yeah.
It's just
It's
plan.
as good as nothing.
All right, and then we all know that as much as planning is also important, planning and thinking exposes us to a whole lot of fear, fear of the unknown. This, if I do it, if I don't do it, I mean, just ready, fire, and then aim. You understand? Shoot. If you don't act, or if you don't leap, you don't know if you're going to fall or you're going to stay steady. So I mean, leap. Don't be scared to leap. Start that thing. That's why this topic doesn't really fall in just only fitness context. It goes across almost every other aspect of life. All right. Shoot. Act. You need to act upon whatever plan you have. I mean, starting up from level 100, if you could recall your finals, you didn't know how you're going to get to your finals, but you started school. Level 100, level 200, all what you were looking out for was how you're going to go through your finals, and that's it. So you need to even shoot before you aim sometimes. Sometimes you don't have to aim before you shoot. You need to shoot before you aim. When you shoot, then you aim at where you're going to, and you keep at it. You keep pushing, you move it. So with regards to consistency in workouts, that's how it also goes. Shoot, fire, move, act upon whatever you're looking out for. All right, if you don't put in the work, if you don't act upon it, it only ends up becoming plan thinking, and before you know, you are overclouded with fear, and that's how it's going to end. I can bet you most dreams, it ends at the planning and thinking stage. That's it. There's no action to it. So you need to act. When you act, you are sure if you're going to see results or not. If you don't get to see results the first one, you learn from the mistakes. You strategize again. You keep going.
Right.